Happy Thanksgiving 1997 for Madison Public Television and Daniel Hand High School Tiger football. This is the annual Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day game against Guilford at Guilford this year in the muddy field of Guilford. This is Kent Sprague with Frank Tordoff, Steve Fust and Joe Tenzar on cameras. Matt Lawrence is operating the switcher today. We are close to getting this game underway. Hand is on the field. They will introduce the seniors of Hand. They've already introduced the seniors of Guilford. And Frank, this game has gone for 20-some years, right?
Well, the 25 years worth of games. This is the 25th anniversary of Hand Guilford. Now, we don't believe that all those games were Thanksgiving games because I do remember back along some of them were Morgan. But for the lion's share of it, it has been against Guilford on Thanksgiving Day. And we from the broadcast team would like to say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And certainly, as you were saying, Kent, that you look at the beautiful blue skies out there, and it belies the field conditions that we see. Having both walked across the field earlier.
It's a mud bowl.
It is a mud bowl. It really is, unfortunately. Who is that going to favor? Who knows? Usually the offense gets favored by that a little bit. And both teams have some very effective runners as far as that goes. Now, the other thing that we're contending with weather-wise today is the wind. That thank goodness that you and I don't have to be in today, because it's running between 30 and 45 miles an hour out there with the flag
blowing from west to east, right?
West to east. So it should be a good game, an interesting game. Daniel Hand has a lot to play for. In other words, home field. They have made it to the tournament, but home field advantage in the first play-down game in the semifinals. And Guilford has a lot to play for. What Guilford has to play for is to beat Hand, and they want to do that. They said in the paper, their players, if they won no games in the whole year except Daniel Hand, that would be a successful season for them. And you got to believe that's true.
And you could expect Guilford to let out all the stops today, try anything they can to win this game. They have nothing to lose, really.
Absolutely. I mean, they can go long ball, they can side, they could go razzle-dazzle, anything they want, because, hey, if they lose to the #1 team in the state, so be it. But if they come out here and give Hand a game or indeed win because of a fluke play or something, who knows? We did see a tie about 3 years ago.
That's right. Guilford has won 4 games this year, and Frank, I remember back when you and I have been involved in athletics a long time. If they played 10 games, Hand would probably win 8 or 9 of them.
That's correct.
But we don't know if that's the 1 or 2 today.
Exactly.
And if they don't play up to their capabilities, Guilford could beat them just as well as anybody else.
Oh, Guilford has some good athletes out there. They have run up some real good games, and a couple that they lost by a very narrow margin. So you're right. We could see some very interesting things out there today. And, yeah, the overall series record is, let's see, I think it's 21, 2 and 1 tie, right? Yep. So you're right. It's about 1 out of 10, but you don't want this to be the one that you lose.
I had a coach way back when I played ball in high school that said, gee, we may be favored to beat these guys, but I haven't heard them offer to forfeit yet. And they have showed up. So you never know on a game like this. That's why they play them. We have the coin toss in the middle of the field with captains Dan Anderson and Greg Walby out on the field. Guilford will get the ball first, and they will go into the wind.
Interesting choice. They do want to get apparently the jump on Hand, and taking the wind is probably Hand's idea. They want to have the wind at their back.
I didn't see who won that flip.
Neither did I.
But
I have a feeling, knowing the Hand coaches, they would take the field position in their favor first, figuring that the defense will stop the offense.
So we've had the coin toss. We will have the national anthem here coming up next, and then we'll have this game underway.
Miller out for the kickoff.
We are about ready to begin this game. Greg Walby will tee it up on the 40 and kick with the wind, and he usually puts them in the end zone without wind.
I hope they have somebody down in Long Island Sound ready to retrieve this.
And the leaves from Branford are blowing through Guilford right at the moment.
Yeah, as long as they don't end up in my yard in Sandalwood Drive, Madison, I'll be happy with that.
So Hand really needs to win this game to maintain the home field playoffs for the first game. If they win this game, they would play the first round of the championship playoffs on December 2nd at home, right?
Yeah, 6:30.
And if they do not win tonight or today, they would probably play away from home. Is that correct?
Well, not necessarily. It's kind of up in the air, depending on everything.
Walby is going to hit it in the end zone and out of the end zone.
Yeah.
Guilford takes over to 20.
Interesting to that, the two backmen for Guilford were Chris Ott, their starting quarterback, and Charles Bartarelli, their leading tailback. So they had both of those in to run back. Now, whether that's the normal stance, who knows? But because we haven't seen their games.
That didn't even look like one of Greg Walby's normal kickoffs, and it still landed halfway halfway through the end zone and bounced out. So Guilford starts the game with the ball at the 20. We're just underway. And it's a misdirection run to the right and a run for about 3 yards probably.
And Matt Libby was the carrier on that for Guilford, number 28. And they did have some pretty good blocking on that side.
He's going to gain close to 5 yards on that one, up to near the 25.
We don't have the very best of angles here to pick up on that far side, as far as both the camera and our own visibility here.
Frank, I can see right now that number 91 is back in the game for Hand, Zach Suppies. He's been out the last 2 games with wisdom tooth problems.
The Zach man. Good to see him back.
And on defense for the first possession of this game by Guilford, and they're running to the right again. And the man is going to gain maybe 1 at most.
That was the King James version of a tackle right there on Bartarelli on the far side. And Jimmy met him just really well right there as he hit the line. So really no super amount of gain on that.
We have a field camera down on the sideline by Joe Tenzauer and up in the booth by Steve Fuse today. We are quite a ways from the field here. It's a little hard to pick up all the numbers, and not terribly high. 3rd and about 3 for Guilford. First possession. We're just underway. And they're going to sweep to the left this time, and good defensive play by Dan Brand. Stops the man short, bring up 4th down, a loss on that one.
You know, Dan played that just right. Where he started to plant his feet to make his pressure push was right in the middle of the swamp out there, if you will. But he kept himself driving straight ahead and made sure he got a real good grip with his arm, brought the runner down.
Punts are going to be an adventure today, Frank. This Guilford is going to punt into the wind. Back to receive are Dan Brand and T.J. Naylor. And it's a short punt. Nobody's going to field that one. You're going to let it roll dead, and it's going to roll dead at about the 45.
Yeah, that was about a 15 yards.
That was not much of a punt.
Well, he didn't get a good toe on it either, I don't think. It looked like he was trying to kick that towards, actually across diagonally the field, which would have been straight into the wind. Maybe he didn't get a good plant foot either on that.
Punters are going to have a tough time planting their left foot today. And in great field position here. First possession, Scott Roberts at quarterback, Jeff Monroe, fullback, Jeremy Friedler, the tailback. And the Hand band is right in front of us. That's Friedler for a couple of yards.
Hey, there's Hand's number 1 play. Off tackle drive right in the middle of the mud bowl.
And as they've been doing all year, Dan Anderson comes in for the second play, bringing in a play. Friedler gains 2 on the first carry. At the Anderson, going to the left, cutting back, and Anderson well, let's see how many yards he did get.
Well, it looked like
about a 4-yard gain, 4 or 5.
We'll give it 4.
About 4, yeah.
But it looked a lot more open than it was when he made his cut upfield. It closed up very fast.
3rd down and 5 for Hand. Their first possession of this game. No score yet. The ball's about the 37, about the 38. Sean Manley in at fullback. Dan Anderson at tailback. And if he goes to the right, he's going to be in mud. That's Scott Roberts looking to throw. And, that should be an interference call. It isn't, though. Wallaby was tackled before the ball got there. Well, it actually was tipped earlier, maybe.
Yeah, well, once it's tipped, and that was a hard call. Because once it's tipped, it's a free.
Once it's tipped, then the man can tackle Wallaby.
Although he can't hold him, and it looked like he wrapped. So
4th down play. Hand brings in coverage team. Looks like they will be in punt formation. Dan Anderson, and it looks like he may be in one of the few dry spots in the field there to punt. They're wanting to pin Guilford deep. Everybody is back. Fair catch call. It's going to go into the end zone.
Well, it's 3 and out for both teams, Ken. Well, just a little probing action as far as that goes.
But so far, the kicking game, the kickoff and the punt have kept all the play down in Guilford's end.
Boy, and that band is loud.
They're loud and they're very close.
And they're coming into this box like a soundboard, I think.
Let's see if we can pick up the rest of the defensive line for Hand. 91 is Zach Suppes, 40 is Sean Manley. They're carrying to the right, and that one doesn't look like it's going to get much. Maybe a yard.
Yeah, try to get, I think Sean Manley was in on that. Barn door, Matt DeConcilius was out there. Nice job. Good seeing old Matt in there.
Yeah, 74 is DeConcilius. 40 is Sean Manley. 91 is Zach Suppes. And who's the other one? 79? 79 is Colin Johnson.
Colin Johnson. Colin Jerry's son.
Jerry's son. And Jerry is here from Dallas today to watch his son play ball. Jerry Johnson, he helped us on the video cast several years ago. Gained about 2 yards on that first carry. It's a delay and a run to the right, and good blocking ahead of it, and a good gain. Finally, a short tackle by Naylor.
Naylor, but it's a first down.
First down.
You know, there was an amazing look out there because the green jerseys pulled very, very well all the way over to their left side, and there was almost no way you could get through that as a defensive player until it started to spread itself out.
So Guilford gets the first down of this game and brings it up to about the 33. Shotgun formation, quarterback rolling right. He's got room to run over there, and he's going to run. Somebody hits him out after about a 9-yard gain. TJ Naylor again.
Yeah, the hammer. He hammered him that time.
And also Hunter Morris in on that tackle, looked like.
Hunter was right on top of that, trailing the play to make sure there wasn't a, just what happened. In other words, the quarterback pulling it down hot and going for the yards. Nice job by the quarterback. That's probably the better part of the field over there, too, on that side to get your traction.
We got a 2nd down and 1 to go.
Into the game for Hand is number 71, John Gribb.
Ball down.
Fumble snap by Guilford. We'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, one of the Hand players was signaling.
Hand recovers that fumble.
Yes, yes.
And handing the ball back to the referee is Sean Manley.
The Manley one, doing a great job out there. And Akak Elting was the man out there who was signaling that first, helping out the referees.
Quarterback never got that snap.
Don't know if does he get a percentage of their pay if he helps out like that? Or maybe it's an internship he gets.
And takes over to 41. The quarterback never handled that snap, and Sean Manley was right there. Pitch wide this time to Anderson over here in the mud. Anderson, a good gain. He gains about 9 yards, it looks like, from here.
Typical Anderson run. You know, there was green to the left and green to the right. There was green in front of him. The only green in front of him were jerseys. He decided to go after the jerseys instead of the grass.
9-yard gain by Dan Anderson on first down. Ball to 32. Anderson and Monroe in the backfield. There's Monroe. Monroe should have the first down across the 30.
Nice job. Very, very quick dive off center, left side of center on that. Got a nice block by Chris Gavin. Got the room that he needed.
In there in the offensive line are Vero Kishwell at right tackle, Ed Drew at left tackle. The guards are Andy Elting and Colin Johnson. The center is Chris Gavin. And the tight end is James Kingsley. And there's a flag before the play starts. I have no idea what that is, unless somebody lined up offside. They did. That's exactly what happened.
How in the world can the defense line up? That's one of those
maybe
tear your hair out for the coach.
Maybe he slipped in the mud.
Maybe, but I don't. You know, I think they give him the benefit of it.
First and 5 at the 25 for hand, and the ball is rolling around out there with the wind blowing it. They're going to move it back a yard where where the wind blew it.
That's right. The ball flat on the ground and somewhat away from the wind that way, and boy, it still blew.
Scott Roberts looking to throw, and that's Walby over here. Greg Walby, incomplete pass, to it behind Walby a little bit.
Just a tad behind him. Greg had to spin his body around. He was looking on the outside of him and trying to skirt down the line. Came on the inside just a little bit. May have been affected. That's one of those passes where you try to get a little bit of air under the ball. And today, with this wind, a little air is going to be a lot of air.
Well, they had the 5-yard penalty, so they had first and 5. That's not a bad place to try a fairly long pass play.
No, not at all.
Second and 5 now for him. Pitch wide to Anderson, and Anderson cuts it back, goes over one man, and should have the first down across the 20. That gives him a first down.
Give it about 6 yards on that?
More than that, I think. I'd say 7 or 8.
We'll go conservatively to 7.
About 7, probably.
He got a nice block from the Manley man out there. Sean did a good job sealing off that side for him.
This time, Rand Supernaut comes right, Walby goes left. Scott Roberts looking to throw. He's looking for Walby in the end zone. And Supernaut actually came across and got a hand on it. Incomplete.
Supernaut almost had that. I think Scott wanted to get it to Walby. Supernaut went behind him on kind of a crossing pattern, and the ball did float. And I think it was still floating when it got to Supernaut.
Both wide receivers cut toward the goal, and they were close together in there. That may not have been quite the pattern that the coach would like to have seen.
No, indeed.
Second and 10 for him, but they're inside the 20, and I can't tell exactly where they are. Somewhere near the 17, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's Jeff Monroe, and Monroe gains a little bit. He bounces off and gets a decent gain out of that, doesn't he?
That's right. It looked like it was going to be tight up the middle, and he took it to the left a little bit and got us about 3 yards.
About 3 yards. Third and long now, third and about 7. And the yard lines down there in that mud are non-existent. It's somewhere near the what, 15?
It's about the 15. We have to do a little interpolation here.
And there goes Anderson to the left. A flag comes in. A flag comes in. It's going to...
not going to bode real well, I wouldn't think.
It's going to be an illegal block over there, I think. On the left side, Dan Anderson was trying to go left.
See what we got.
That's a
Offense.
holding
Yep.
call against Hand.
That's one thing we've talked about this year a number of times, is how Hand has been penalized so many times this year, far more than we've seen in the past. Matter of fact, by the cat stats, Hand's been penalized over twice as much as their opponents.
Ball's back about the 24 for Hand with that penalty. And we'll repeat third down. Third and about 17 probably. We're guessing at distances today. We can't tell where the ball is. And a pass play, they're looking for a super knot. And no, that's a tight end actually. Kingsley was in a little bit closer. He's got a strong wind behind him, and so far Scott Roberts has overthrown a couple of them.
He's 0 for 4 so far.
4th and long.
Well, you're not used to seeing that from Scott, and it's got to be the effect of the wind, I would say.
4th and long, and look at this. They're going to try a long field goal, and that
well, the wind's with
that's going to be put down at the 30-yard line. This is a 40-yard field goal try by Greg Walby. Chris Gavin, the snapper, Scott Roberts, the holder. It's put down, and it's long enough.
Yes!
And good, a 40-yard field goal by Greg Walby.
Walloping wallbanger. What a good job on that one.
We know that he can kick it far enough. I didn't know if whether it was good until I saw the people beyond the goal post there signaling it.
I had to wait myself because it's hard on that particular angle because the ball actually passed over just above the goalpost, so we didn't even get that to look at by. But, you know, the position on the field was perfect for the way the wind was blowing, not to take anything away from the kick.
I don't believe Greg Walby will try any 40-yarders going the other direction into that wind, but with that strong wind, he had plenty of leg on that one. We had 3:50 left in the first quarter, and Hand scores first with a field goal.
Excellent job. It was a pretty good blocking on that for Daniel Hand, too. It took a while for the whole thing to set out. Greg had to be very careful on his foot placement. And, of course, Scotty Roberts on the whole had to be very careful. So that it took a while for Hand to get that play rocking and rolling. And Guilford did start to break through near the end, but success was there.
Walby to kick off again. Another long kick. They're not going to field that one either. It hits the middle of the end zone, clear to the fence, out of the end zone.
Coast Guard has been alerted so that they can be on Long Island Sound to recover the footballs.
So far in this game, it's been a defensive struggle, and Hand's kicking with the wind has kept the whole game so far in Guilford's end of the field.
Yeah, you can really tell the way all the players are walking around down there, how gingerly and sure they're trying to be with their foot placement, and they have to be. Absolutely have to be.
Guilford with the ball back at the 20. It's a shotgun formation. A keeper by the quarterback and a big gain. Finally wrapped up by Kingsley, clear up at the 35.
That's very good. It's actually a quarterback draw, basically.
Yeah, quarterback draw from a shotgun formation.
As we said, they can try anything, and anything can go. But nice play. It looked very, very good. Hand really did expect to see a pass, and they separated the center. And I don't think they'll get caught with that again, though. Like we say, Art is a very good player.
The inside linebackers are Andy Elting and James Kingsley. King James. Quarterback rolling right, looking to throw now, and now he's going to keep it. And he's going to gain some yardage this time, too. Finally thrown out of bounds, but about a 9-yard gain, it looks like.
Yeah, very, very well done. Somebody from Hand looked like they had it, but I just heard the coach out here, the spotter, saying the Hand player kind of was on the wrong side. Had to turn around as he planted to turn. His foot slipped out. I think it was Colin Jerryson out, but he did. He thought the play was going a little further off, and he went to turn, and his foot just slipped out from under him.
That's second and less than a yard for Guilford. And the ball is at the, 45?
Yeah, that is the 45.
And they're running right this time, and tackle for a yard loss over there. And who is that? Kingsley.
Yeah, the king man out there. Didn't I? Sliced right through. saw the opening separation from the pulling right-hand guard out there, and did a nice job. Holy smokes! This place is haunted, I think.
We have a door that keeps blowing open here.
Again.
Gale.
No, there's a wind tunnel in here, really. We probably ought to close the door downstairs. Although we are very thankful to any of you at home that this is, I think, about the only heated booth that we get in all year long.
Quarterback keeper, and the whole pile goes forward for a first down for Guilford.
That was just the old rugby scrum. And that time the Green Indians took it across and got the first down. Not quite into hand territory yet, though, with 2 minutes left in this first quarter, Ken.
First down at the 48-yard line of the Indians.
I don't believe Guilford has crossed midfield yet, but they're very close to it.
Yeah, within a couple
About
of
the
yards.
48.
Showing
Guilford
some,
puts 2 receivers to the left this time, near side. And motion this side. I'm not sure what we've got here.
We have a delay.
could be.
Delay of game for
Yeah, I was going to say,
Guilford.
that took a long time to get going, and there you have it.
They had 2 receivers left and motion left, so that play was probably coming this way.
You know, I was looking at the TV monitors up here that our switching crew is having, and it looks a lot warmer on the TV than it does here.
That's a quarterback keeper again, and they obviously believe that their quarterback is one of their better runners.
And he is. And he is. Really, through the year, when you were watching the write-ups in either the Register or the Shoreline Times, you saw the name Bottarelli or Ott, you know, all the time, and that can take a lot out of you, particularly if he's also playing special teams in that. But he only got a couple back, or maybe only one.
Second down now and about 13 for Guilford, and we got a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Hand leads 3-0 against Guilford on Thanksgiving Day. Pass play. Hunter Morris gets blocked out of the play,
Nice.
but finally
Intentional grounding?
it's tackled over on the far side. Who made that tackle, Frank? I couldn't tell.
I think it was Kingsley.
Kingsley?
But Hunter, like you said, came slicing through almost at him at the inception of
Hunter Morris playing in the corner on the far side. Brian Deacon-Sullius has played it most of the time on this side. Into the game for hand is number 20. That's Jeff Knowlton. The defensive secondary are now Knowlton, T.J. Naylor,
Latimer.
Steve Latimer, and Dan Brand. Now Latimer comes up to Phil. And it's a draw play going to the right.
Nowhere.
And not much there. That one gained maybe 1 at most, but it'll bring up 4th and long.
So where we were talking at that point, where they started this series at about the 48-yard line, they actually went backwards about 7 yards. So they'll be getting the hike position will be about the 41-yard line, and be kicking it from about the 35. So Hand has been able to keep them if it is indeed a punt.
T.J. Naylor and Dan Brand are back to receive. It's tricky to punt on a day like this because the ball, when you drop it, isn't necessarily going to drop straight down to your foot, too.
And you only have to miss by a half an inch or an inch when you really need to place that well. On top of it, even though it's not a real cold day, it is a cold day from the football standpoint, and it's a very hard ball. Now, you know, very dense air in it, so you really have to crack that thing just right.
We have just over a half a minute left in the first quarter, and Guilford has to punt into this wind. They did not get a very long punt on the first punt.
You keep looking for if it's gusty wind. It's not. It's a very steady wind.
Good snap. And a little better kick, but look at that thing. It's going to die there. It goes down to about the 40.
Yeah. The best part of valor on that is to let's let it die itself, because you're not going to win real well with it.
Seconds left.
All right, 28 seconds remaining in this first period of play. And the band cranks up. All the Hand players love to hear that.
And with half a minute left in the first quarter, they may try something long here with the wind behind them, Frank. What do you think?
Very well might.
Scott Roberts to the ball, and that's what they're looking to do. It's Walby going deep, but Scott Roberts keeps it and gains about 9 yards. Greg Walby made a fly pattern down the right sideline. He was heading for the end zone.
There wasn't any separation between he and the defensive man at all. So Scott, thinking the best of it, tucked it down and ran. Made about 9 yards.
Yeah, they gave him about 8.5. Yeah, a little over 8. And that runs out the first quarter. First quarter score of the 1997 Thanksgiving Day game against Guilford is 3-0 Hand. Second and 1.5 yards for Hand at the 48 as we begin the second quarter. Going into the wind, and Guilford had a man offside there.
Well, we'll take those 5 yards, because otherwise it's like running uphill this direction, Ken, with that wind in your face. We'll see how we know it affected the Guilford team a bit. Let's see.
That's a free first down for Hand.
Yes. Interesting piece of trivia that I picked out of Ken Conlon's article in the Shoreline Times this week is number 31 for Guilford, the tailback, Charles Bottarelli, was in high school at Mercy. Was in Mercy School in Madison with both Greg Walby and Danny Anderson.
That's Monroe, who is getting tackled.
So those two young men have been, those three young men have played and been together in school in the past and know each other among themselves very, very well.
Walby and who?
Walby and Anderson. With Bottarelli at Mercy.
3-yard line of the Indians.
Jeff Monroe gains close to 4 yards. We're early in the second quarter. Hand is leading 3-0 against Guilford, with a long 40-yard field goal by Greg Walby. That's Dan Anderson, goes over one man, and he's going to be a yard or two short of a first down, but good yardage.
Good yardage, carrying about 7 green jerseys on him.
And a pack of mud.
You know, so far, Hand has actually had 4 people carry the ball. Anderson, Monroe, Roberts, and Friedler, so... Anderson has certainly been the workhorse in the past, but he's not the only man carrying the ball today.
Third down and short 2. And that's Dan Anderson going to the right. He's got a first down, and he's still going. And he's carrying tacklers across the 20.
Well, he started that at the 39. So we'll give him about 23 yards on that baby.
It's going to be placed about the 17, it looks like.
So not too bad. Very, very well played. Hand was able to cut off and seal that corner over there very well.
First down Hand at about the 17. Walby split wide left. Pitch to Jeremy Friedler. Makes a cut back to the 15.
And most of the time we see Friedler head for the outside corner all the time on that one. He did cut it on the inside. A little bit different for him to run it that way, but we'll give him 1.5 yards or 2.
Second down about 8 for Hand at the 15. Walby's got single coverage to wide left. And that's the first man, Monroe, and short yardage. Gained maybe 2.
Very, very stiff defense in the interior line for Guilford. I'm quite impressed with the way they're...
We got a Guilford man down in the middle of that tackle.
And he was. It's the nose tackle there. So he... trying to see if I can look up some weights and measures here a little bit. Unfortunately, the roster we were given is hard to cross-reference. I'll try to come up with a couple. Number 64 out there.
64 is a big boy.
265, 5'9", so he's one of those fireplug type of guys. Pompano is his name. Kyle St. George is number 55 we're looking at. And St. George is 215. So come up with a couple others. Chris Conti is 220 at 6'1". Very, very good looking young man out there. So we're looking some pretty hefty linemen. Can hold their own very well out there, and they're doing that.
Well, the majority of teams Hand has played this year has had bigger players in the line.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that they got Matt DeConcilius back, it isn't quite such a discrepancy.
That's true. Fast Eddie Drew has got to be picking up on some of that out there. Player gets helped off.
They're going to put the ball down about, 14?
14,
13,
I'd say.
14.
Yeah, something in that nature.
Third down for Hand. Jeremy Friedler is the tailback in. And Roberts looking to throw. He slips a little bit. Now he's throwing the end zone. Knocked down at the goal line.
Hand
Aim
all over
for
his
Greg
back.
Walby.
That's too bad. Son of a gun.
That'll bring up 4th down and 6.
Well, when you're pushing on a guy's back and he doesn't catch the ball, sounds like it's interference to me.
Okay, 4th down play for Hand. Jeremy Friedler and Jeff Monroe in the backfield.
Shoot.
They got 4th and long here. 4th and about 7.
Oh, it looked like movement on Hand.
Roberts looking to throw. He slips again, and it's intercepted in the end zone right in front of Greg Walby. So Guilford stops Hand's drive on that one.
Oh, very good defensive effort. They bent, but they didn't break. And there again, it's hard to make that make those cuts if you're trying to be a little finesse oriented out there for Hand, and the defense just held back. And
well, Scott Roberts, his foot slipped on him as he came out from center.
And it kept him off stride a little bit, and just couldn't bring it through.
Guilford will get the ball for their first drive with the win now, going west to east.
And we'll put the ball in play on their own 20.
Guilford with the ball back at the 20. We have 9:11 left in the half.
Ball's down. Hand's got. I think Kingsley got it.
And a Hand man was in there quickly.
Oh,
but,
I don't know. It
we'll see who
depends
got it.
On the grabbing down there. Nope.
Guilford recovers, but I think that was Kingsley that was right there.
Very, very close.
Oh, Guilford has had more problems handling snaps than Hand has so far in this muddy field. 2nd and 10. Matt DeConcilius, Colin Johnson, Sean Manley, and Zach Suppies are the front 4 for Hand. Pass play looks like. So far he's not thrown it, and not going to get much there. Back to the line of scrimmage, or close.
Suppy is in Kingsley. So Kingsley staying at home like he was meant to do on a play like that, watching out. He was really positioned there to watch for the, again, the quarterback draw, or if it was an inadvertent quarterback draw, if you will, and he was able to bring
I don't
him
believe
down.
Guilford has thrown it yet. They've gone back to pass formation a time or two, but they have not turned it loose. This will bring up 3rd and 10.
Sean Manley coming off. He's got about 40 pounds of dirt on him.
And they need a assistant scraper.
Yes. Kind of mop up the
Andy
moisture.
Elding and James Kingsley, the inside linebackers. Hunter Morris and Brian DeConcilius protecting the corner.
3rd in the bunch.
Shotgun formation, and it looked like a screen set up in the middle.
No good.
Incomplete. And
Well, that worked.
Suppies and Colin Johnson and Matt DeConcilius were all right in on the quarterback.
You know, that started to take effect just like you draw it up. In other words, you allow the interior linemen to filter through. I think what made that fall apart is our interior linemen were very, very quick in getting back to the quarterback, and he had to throw it high, and obviously it was incomplete. 4th and long.
Guilford gets the punt with the wind here. Dan Brand and T.J. Naylor back to receive.
And we know T.J. wants to pick one up. Now here's the first kick of Guilford with the wind at their back.
Well, catching a punt is an adventure in a windy. Yeah, that's a floater. That's a floater and a good kick and a good long roll.
Holy smokes!
That is a long roll, and the wind may blow it into the end zone.
The wind is blowing it. It'll blow it all. They don't stop it. It'll blow it back into the end zone. Holy smokes! Holy
How many yards did he get there?
He nailed that at about the 5-yard line, so it was say from the 10. You got to give him all. That's right. He's got about a 85-yard punt.
It was 85-yard punt. That was down by Guilford at about the 5, and it would have rolled all the way to the end zone with the wind had they not touched it there.
I don't think I've ever seen one like that.
They could have given him another 4 yards on that punt if they'll just let the wind blow it.
That's great for the statistics. For the kicker.
And takes off deep in their own territory now. Ahead 3-0. And it's run up the middle, and that's
still going.
Jeff Monroe, a big gainer up to the 15.
But
across the 15. That gets him out of that deep hole.
Well, that was Monroe, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jeff Monroe carried.
Boy, he kept his legs churning out there, so the old mountain man came through.
That was not a particularly good-looking punt. It was a floater, and it just rolled forever.
Well, the thing
and would still be rolling if they hadn't touched it.
It hit the ground with an angle on it that allowed it to keep
Monroe
on.
for a first down again, or on a first down carry. Excuse me, he had a first down before.
I can't get over that punt.
Well, I remember in the hand book, wasn't it the kid's name Raleigh that has the record for longest punt?
Yeah.
I remember that punt. It was against Old Saybrook at home on a real windy, stormy night, and he punted it over the receiver's head, and it rolled forever. Same idea.
Same idea. Yeah.
That's Dan Anderson, big yardage again. First down across the 30.
Oh, my.
And we have a killdeer here at the 42.
Holy smokes. I still can't get over that. But, you know, and TJ wanted to pick that baby up, but of course the coaches, don't touch it, don't touch it.
I think today they need to field them to keep them from rolling forever.
Fall on it, yeah.
First down. And hands-ground game here is taking effect into this wind. They'll keep it on the ground. That's Dan Anderson. Short yardage this time, gains a couple.
This may be a way, I mean, obviously, for hand runners to get more yardage this way.
So far, this has been a defensive struggle for the Hand Guilford Thanksgiving Day game. 3-0 score. Hand is leading with 5.5 minutes left before the half.
But really, as a coach, you've got to watch out what part of the field you're playing on here if you want to have any chance of success.
Yeah. And it's run to the right again, and Anderson, he's got another first down. Dan Anderson, what do you have before this game started? Almost 1,300 yards with it?
1,200 and change. And of course, as a matter of fact, talking about that, again, according to Ken Conlon's cat stats, Monroe had 599 yards on the season, so his first carry carried him over 600. And when you combine that with Jeremy Friedler of almost 400 yards, Hand has really spread it out and gotten a lot of activity.
It's had a powerful ground game this year, and it's still showing here. Against the wind, they will keep it going as long as Dan Anderson can do that, and he gains about 7 probably.
Right up off tackle again, right side. He cut his way back in, headed for the green jerseys.
And who are the blockers on that right side, Frank?
Well, we got Special K over there, of course.
Kishwala.
Yeah, and Andy Elting's over there.
Ack.
Tell him that because
I don't even want to ask where you got that name.
Any aircraft. He goes in.
Oh, okay.
Pressure on the quarterback, his safety that he got last time.
I gave Anderson about 6 on that last one. Jeff Monroe, big yardage. Got a first down.
First down and about 8 more yards on that, I'd say.
And they started this drive down at the 5, and so far all on the ground, and they have grounded clear to the 40.
First down, the ball at the...
I've got about 7 carries to get this far so far, too, Kent, from the 5.
As long as they can gain 6-7 yards and more per carry, you're not going to see much passing into this wind.
No, absolutely not.
And that's a delay with Dan Anderson over right guard, right tackle. Gains about 4.
Special K again, and Elting.
I don't believe they quite gave him 4, maybe 3.
Yeah, he didn't get a real good spot, did he? Well, I'm giving him 4.
He owes you one.
He owes us one.
He'll get it.
10% extra for effort or something.
Hands, potent ground game here is taking effect with a good blocking up front, and that's Dan Anderson going to the right, cuts it back and takes it to the 30. Excuse me, yeah, the 30. He's supposed to another first down. You know what's kind of interesting to me, Frank, is if people hadn't watched Hand this year, they'd say, boy, they must have some big, powerful linemen. Their center, 2 guards, and tight end all weigh between 170 and 185 pounds. These are not extremely large guys.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
But they're extremely quick and very good fundamentals on the blocking.
That's the whole thing. Very quick, very disciplined, very strong. Spent a lot of time in the weight room. There's the
Jeff
first
Monroe
down.
for short yardage, but he's got a first down across the 30.
And that's the one when we interviewed Chris Gavin earlier in the season, talked about having to lay those blocks out when you hike at the same time. Did a nice job. Oh, Chris did, because that play came right across his tail end there with that one.
First down for Hand, down at the 19. And so far they have kept it on the ground and taken it down the field against Guilford. That's Dan Anderson going to the right, turns the corner, and good yardage again before he's pushed out of bounds.
Well, he was forced out. He just ran out of ground over there that time. And again, you can see that they're kind of right justifying the field, if you will, because really this whole almost third of the field on this side is very hard to do anything with it all. So you're running on a very narrow field.
That must be somewhat disheartening to a team playing Hand, that Hand is keeping a ball for a good share of this quarter and taking it the length of the field on them. If they can hold on to it. 2nd and 2. That's Scott Roberts cuts back. Got the first down across the 20.
Had a nice haul. He picked up a good block from Anderson going in there. It was
about a 4-yard gain. He needed 2 for the first down.
It really wasn't even a pretense of a toss sweep on that at all. Roberts, it was all planned all the way that he was going to keep the ball. Anderson went in and laid out one of the linebackers, and Scotty did a good job.
Let's name those linemen again. Chris Gavin is the center, Andy Elding and Colin Johnson are the 2 guards, Ed Drew and Burrow Kishwalla are the tackles. That's Dan Anderson power running for another 4. And we'll stop the clock. The clock is run down to 1:17 left in the second quarter. 2nd and 6.
No, there's really only been 2 possessions of just about, well, 2.5 possessions, if you will, this whole quarter. And with the long one, Guilford had a pretty good, no, they didn't even have a good one. It just was kind of stumbling. Hand had it the first part of the quarter, but will not be able to get pay dirt other than that 3-point field goal.
And we'll have a 2nd down and about 6 at the 15, and we have 1:17 left in the half. They started this drive after an 80-some yard punt, clear down at the 5. And they're going into the wind. They have not tried to pass.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Now, I believe at halftime there is going to be some sort of a production or other commemoration of the 25 years of Guilford football or something? Something like that.
Yeah, 25 years of 11-man football. We did learn that they used to play something like 6-man football back in the 40s.
Oh, how about that?
And early 50s, I guess. And they're very proud of the fact that they beat Hand a couple of times back that long ago.
Well,
Here we go.
Actually, Guilford is rated in some sports as a double L school.
Pitch wide to Anderson, who takes it to about the 12 or 13.
Nicely again led out there by Sean Manley going across.
And we're coming down to a minute left in the half.
Looks like another stingy.
Third and a long 3 here for Ham.
Hand's got 3 receivers over in the left, Kent.
This time, looks like that was not a smooth handoff, but Jeff Monroe, he's close to a first down.
Boy, it looked like it was more than a yard. But
we got a timeout by Hand. That's their second one with 46 seconds left. That's going to bring up 4th down and a yard and a half.
There again, that whole center part of the field there is in real bad shape. You know, we could call this the game of Neil Simon. Slip sliding away.
Okay.
I think I said that to one of the coaches on the way, early in the game. I got to put a theme on this. Sorry, we're stuck in here. I did, but it's got to be hit from the outside up there. Press down. There we go.
We have a door behind us that keeps banging. Fourth and a yard and a half with 46 seconds left in the half. Hand puts 2 receivers left. They need a first down here.
Very surprised we don't see the power eye of Hand.
And they're looking to throw. That's a complete pass to Anderson, and Anderson is down near the 3.
First down.
First down for Hand, 1st and goal. 38 seconds left. And a hurry-up offense here. The clock is stopped with the first down, move the chains, and Scott Roberts is ready to run this play. And he downs it right away. So kills the clock with 33 seconds left in the half.
That was the first.
They've got one timeout left, haven't they?
I believe they do.
I believe they do, and so they got a chance to take a shot or two at the end zone here.
Well, because you just
that
have
was
to burn one.
That was a complete pass to Dan Anderson coming out in the flat.
Scotty's first complete pass of the game, so he's 1 for 6.
He needed that one. That was 4th down.
And that was somewhat into the wind, if you will. Although
here's a power eye here, strong to the right.
Yeah.
And they're going to give it to Anderson, and Anderson takes it in. Anderson takes it in behind Sean Manley, I believe it was, and Jeff Monroe in the backfield, Kishwala, Elting, Gavin, Kingsley all had a surge into the end zone, so Hand scores first touchdown of this game with only 28 seconds left.
I have 17 plays, probably 18 plays in this sequence, Kent.
Boy, and they started clear down to 5.
5, yeah. 18 plays is what I have unofficially.
Conversion try into the strong wind. Greg Walby's got a strong leg. We'll see how he does.
Wow.
And Walby booms it. He could have gotten his 40-yard field goal on that extra point.
Yeah, he could have, but I'll tell you, that was a nice scoop up by Scotty Roberts, because it was a very, very low hike. So, nice job.
Nice job by Roberts and Walby, and the score is now 10-0 with 28 seconds left in the half. So after that tremendous kick by Guilford, Hand marched it clear the length of the field. Yeah. 95 yards.
95 yards, and as I say, it was about 18 plays, so you want to talk about ball control, that certainly was it.
One pass on that 4th down play down inside the 10 where they needed a first down.
Call that the Anderson drive that time. I don't know, might be able to get a better title than that, because out of the 18 plays, Anderson is carrying the lion's share of it. I have actually 6 carries from Monroe, 1 for Roberts, and then of course the one pass play was to Anderson. So about 11 carries for Anderson on that.
And how many of those yards were Anderson's?
A bunch.
Yeah, good share of them.
Although there was, to start the drive, was that 11-yard carry by Monroe.
Monroe had a couple of good ones there early in that drive, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Greg
one.
Walby was set to kick off, and I do not expect this one to go very high.
No,
He'll probably skid this one low into this strong wind.
He might even squib it. Yep.
And it's a bouncer. It's going to...
see, it's going to die. Oh.
Going to die at the 35.
Falling on the ball.
James Kingsley was down there grubbing around in the mud for it.
He looked like he was swimming down there. He loves it. He loves it.
Number 11, Vinny Benevento, was in there on the coverage too.
Oh, he likes to get down there too. He likes to get his nose in that dirt.
So that play took 1 second off the clock, and we have 27 seconds before the half. And we'll see if Guilford elects to do anything with the strong wind behind him here.
Without the quarterback.
And they're going to run to the left, and a good run. Good run. He up near a first down.
That was one of the better from scrimmage runs.
They're going to give him a 9-yard gain on that play. Guilford takes a timeout.
I'm trying to look at the crowd. It's a pretty good crowd here. I think I've seen bigger ones, but it is a pretty good crowd.
Guilford has a band over in the stand, but they don't look like they're in uniform, do they?
Well,
Frank, I wonder if they'll have a halftime performance.
Well, a couple of years ago, they actually had the band cut out of their budget, which I thought was deplorable for any, town of this size and everything.
Look at this. Guilford got 3 receivers to the right side, and now they're going to run back to the left. And there's a lot of white shirts over there.
Nicely tackled by Brand.
I guess they pushed him out of bounds to stop the clock with 12 seconds.
First down.
12 seconds left. First down for Guilford.
Well, this is a chance. If they cover, this will be if Guilford gets positive yardage here, it'll be their first time across into hand territory. 49-yard line. Last time they got to the 48, and then they marched backwards.
They had 3 receivers to the right. Now they got 2 receivers to the right.
First down.
Are you cozy warm down there?
Yeah.
And
nice.
Somebody just missed the corner. They're looking long.
Intercepted.
And it's incomplete with 4 white shirts and 1 green one down there covering.
That ball floated as well. You can see that
Brand, Naylor, Knowlton, and Latimer all back there around that receiver.
A lot of air under that ball.
One more play. 4 seconds left on the clock. 2nd and 10. And at halftime, they will have their celebration, I guess, for the Guilford 25 years of football. Guilford looking to throw, and they're looking long again. It's up in the wind. And incomplete, almost intercepted.
Dan Brand wanted that.
Dan Brand is the closest one to that one, getting that ball. As we run out the first half, Hand leads 10-0. We will have the Daniel Hand High School band at halftime, and then back for the third quarter. Right after that, good defensive struggle so far, Frank.
Very good.
In the mud.
But I do think, as people are watching this game at home, watch the way the game is being played on the field as far as positioning goes, because there's a whole big section. I'm going to go down at halftime if I can and see. It looks like it may have dried up a little bit. The muddy areas are just sort of gotten muddy, but some of the less traveled areas may have cleared up a little bit. But it really almost acts as a 12th defenseman out there.
And Hand has had excellent field position. They played almost the whole first half, and they're right into the field.
Well, and actually, when you think of the way that punt went down on the 5-yard line, that's Hand football. Hand likes that. That takes a lot of time off as they march 18 plays down.
So we will take a break here and be back for the third quarter.
74. Now, Artie played in 74. He also coached the varsity high school team. So you can tell we draw our own good people here. 1975. 1975, we have Jeff Hutchin. Jeff Hutchin. He helped coach freshman football this year. We have Brad Leak. Brad Leak in 75. We also have Jeff Hansberger in 75. And we have Johnny Brown in 1975. Hey, they're coming. Hey, they can actually jog on the field. That's not bad. Ryan Cunningham, 1975. Brad Leach, 1975. Here we go with 77. Matt O'Freddy. Mark Pender. Steve Terreri, that's in 77, guys. Going with 1978. Onto the field.
All right, everybody, we're about to start the second half of play between Guilford Indians and Daniel Hand on Thanksgiving Day, but Kent, before we do that, the celebrity item auction was, or the celebrity item raffle was conducted. The celebrity item raffle was to benefit Matt Cooper. Matt Cooper, a young man from Madison, was one of the Madison captains several years ago who had to have a kidney transplant. Right. A very serious disease, and the transplant, according to his dad, is holding right now, although they do expect the disease to continue to deteriorate it. But there's been a lot of expenses the family is having to cover. Matt recently had gotten married, and he's just a terrific young man. I remember Matt as a freshman and just an outstanding young man, not just a football player, very active in hand. He also works for the SARA program in Guilford, or the Shoreline Association for the Handicapped and Retarded. Very, very outstanding young man. The following people have won who knows what it is particularly, but anything from a Scottie Pippen jersey to autographed basketballs, etc. The following list of people will be contacted by the people conducting the raffle: Natalie Logan, Nancy Shapiro, Frank Proto, no first name but McKee, Steve Sinai, Peter Newcomb, R. Constantopoulos, Helen McNamara, Mike Guerrera, Ellen Kruder, McGinnis, Chris Hebert, John Hyde, Roberta Hurley, Sumner Francis, Margaret Lucci, Danny Young, Sandy Bagucci, M.E. Hassan, Ed Sofer, Mike Frey, Mike Chichi, Tom Esposito, Janet Roberts, Brad Lipkovich, Jeremy Friedler, how about that? Fiddler on the Roof Friedler, Sarah Regina, a young lady from the high school, Anita Catardi, Rick Marks, Taylor Hudson, Mike Durando, Shirley French, Tim LaChance, Mary Bengardi, Mary Walby, Bob Johnson, Sandy Purvis, and Dave Simmons, all have won in the celebrity auction raffle.
That's great to all benefit Matt Cooper. We're about ready to begin the second half here. Guilford kicks off to Hand. Guilford has the win, and it's fielded by T.J. Naylor, but a whistle is blown here on the kickoff. The flag was thrown right at the line of scrimmage, right where the ball was kicked, so somebody probably crossed the line of scrimmage before the ball was hit.
Probably an offside.
Back to Matt Cooper a second. Frank, I heard Matt give a talk at the Rotary Club a week or so ago, and he's coming along great, but he is taking a lot of medication. He said he's taking over 30 pills a day to fight the rejection of his kidney transplant, and some of these might have an effect on his liver and things like that. So he's got a long road ahead of him, but he sure is an upbeat young man.
Oh, he is, and I'll tell you, I can understand all that's going on and the worries about rejection and stuff. I have a granddaughter who's battling leukemia right now, and boy, it's tough to see what has to go through on all those medications. But I was talking to his dad at halftime, and Bob was saying that, oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, it goes right through T.J. Naylor. He's back to a 7 to retrieve it. And Naylor gets a return back up to the 15. The ball is loose, but it's down. Their Hand retains possession.
Yeah.
That was almost a disaster on that return.
Oh, it was. And what TJ looked like he did is he looked upfield as he went to field the ball, and it went through his legs. But anyway, Matt's dad was telling me that they really need this kidney to hang on for 5 or so years, because after that they really are making progress on maybe a cure for this particular disease. So hopefully we can do that, and everybody's help is needed for for Matt Cooper.
So Hand gets the ball first in the third quarter at about the 17. And the first man through is Jeff Monroe, who gains about 8.
Let me give a little information here. I do have some numbers from the first half.
All right, go
and
ahead.
What I have is 27 running plays for Hand with 157 rushing yards. Anderson with 15 carries for 105 yards. So broke 100 again for the, what's this, the 8th game in a row?
He's over 100 and a half.
Over 100 already, yes, and a half. Monroe had 8 carries for 35 yards, and we'll pick it up.
That's Dan Anderson's bouncing off of players and is tackled by about 5 of them. First down for Hand on that carry. Frank, one other thing, you were looking at stats on receiving yardage. Greg Walby has not caught a pass today, but he's not too far from the school record, isn't he?
No, as a matter of fact, he's 650 on the season, and the record by one of the coaches right now, Scotty Schweitzer, is the record is 658 on a season, so 8-yard catch, and Walby can tie or beat the record for the high school.
That's a very short gain, not much on that one for Dan Anderson, gained a yard. 2nd and 9 for Hand at the 29.
So a lot to look forward to as we keep on going here.
And is going into this stiff wind for the third quarter. They'll have it at their backs for the fourth. And again, Anderson is carrying the ball a lot, and he is getting gang tackled on every carry.
Swarm. They know that right now that's the secret to what Guilford has to do, is to hold Anderson to naught.
They may have to throw a few short passes here to loosen up the defense a little bit. The Guilford defense is ganged right in the middle. Anderson gains only 2 yards and 2 carries here.
Again, as you can see where the position of the ball is, this part of the field they're trying to stay away from. This near third, if you will.
3rd and long for Hand, and Walby is wide left on this play. And a linebacker shot the gap. There's a man open over there. Can't quite bring it in. Aim for Kingsley. Kingsley made a dive for it at the 45. Cannot get the ball, so Hand will punt into the wind.
What a shame. That'll be interesting to see. With Anderson being the normal punter for Hand, if he can get some distance out there.
I don't think he's going to get a 75-yarder, though. They measured that long punt by Guilford at about 75 from the line of scrimmage. Was 20, and he went clear down to the 5 before.
3 receivers back for Guilford.
And a kick that's going to die in the wind and bounce backwards. It's going to go dead at about the 45. Well, that's not too bad for that kicking into that strong wind. Guilford had a man come in late, and he was blitzing from the sideline, it looked like. Just kept running, but he was picked up by a blocker.
Just to finish off the stats from the first half, I have Roberts with 2 carries for 13 yards and Friedler 2 carries for 4 yards. There was only 1 completed pass, and that was a very important first down near the end of the half, but that was the only completion so far for Scotty.
Well, it's a 45, and we only have a 10-0 score here, so it's still a ball game. And a good run by Guilford, and the man's going to gain about 8 yards. And they are across midfield. That's one of their first times that I can recall.
It is the first time in the game. The other times they were down, they got stopped right at the 48-49 yard line.
The ball's down to the 46. It'll bring up second and about 2.5. We're 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and leading 10-0. Long count, and it's run to the right end. He's going to gain nothing there. Hunter Morris in on that tackle, and Kingsley right there too.
Jimmy the Younger out there doing a good job as usual. I noticed his 2 brothers, 2 of his brothers are here. One is an ensign in the, or higher now, I guess, in the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
He's been down in Guatemala and on anti-drug chasing stuff and everything.
3rd and about 3 now for Guilford. The 47. They lost a yard on that last play. Likely pass play here, I would think. We'll see. Or quarterback keep. Pitch wide left.
Oh, almost missed.
Almost pitched behind him, and he's not going to make the first down. Stop right at the line of scrimmage. Good defense by Hand.
Sean Manley
over there.
He trailed that nicely down the line and stormed in after that. Nice job. Fourth down with about 3. And you would think that Guilford would have to get rid of the ball this time.
Craig Taylor into the lineup for Hand. Number 34. Out is Ed Drew. And a punt formation. He's not going to get 75 yards this time. He doesn't have 75 to work with.
That's right.
Back deep are Dan Brand and oh, it's a fake. And a good fake.
How about that?
Super fake. And clear down to the 20-yard line. And we mentioned her before the game that Guilford would try anything in this game. Nothing to lose.
Excellent play, as a matter of fact.
A fake from the punt formation and picks up the first and clear down to the 20.
And he was brought down by Dan Brand. Of course, a play like that gets through very, very quickly. And the two Hand backmen, luckily for Hand, are very, very short tacklers. And Danny Brand has really come on well that way this year. We've seen him doing a nice job today on his tackles. So
that was a well-designed play by Guilford.
Caught Hand totally by surprise.
And it did catch Hand by surprise. And this is by far their deepest penetration with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And if they score here, this is a ball game again.
You bet. And what you have, of course, at halftime, the Guilford coaches had a lot they could work with. You know, 10 points is not out of the realm of possibility to get into the game and to win the game. So they had a lot they could do to juice the young men up. Home game, Turkey Day game, 25th anniversary, beat Hand, beat Hand, and then beat Hand again.
Gained 1 yard on that carry. They got trips right this time. 3 receivers flooded to the right side of the field for Guilford. High snap and a quarterback keep.
Again on the drop.
And he's not going to get much on the left side. Driven out of bounds.
And again, you know, you won't hear the name except from here, but Zach Suppies was the one who really strung that out.
And
Zach
Brian Deacon-Cilius is the one that finished off the tackle.
Yeah, the Rat Man. What are we saying is Zach, the Rat Man, Deacon, you know?
Deacon, yeah, rat killer.
And, but no, Zach came in and held his own from that defensive end position, forcing the quarterback, Ott, further out to his left, and then Deacon came in and knocked him down.
So that formation, they had 3 receivers to this side, but it was a quarterback keep to the left, which did not gain much.
So we should have a lot of fun.
Third and close to 8. So we may see some razzle-dazzle on this play, Frank. Let's watch it.
I would not put anything.
2 receivers to the near side. Quarterback keep up the middle.
This is
he's not going to get it, but he's far enough down now that they will run 4th down, of course, too.
Well, this is one of those things where you go to the back pages of the playbook and bring them all out.
That'll bring up 4th and 5, but the ball is down at about, where are we, Frank? About the 15?
Just about.
There's no line there, but it looks like it's close to the 15. 4th down play for Guilford. So far this year, Hand has been very successful in stopping these plays. Guilford has 3 receivers to the near side of the field. High snap, bobbled a minute, but good protection. Quarterback keep, and he cuts it up and looks like he's going to be a yard or so short. Hand takes over, stops the quarterback keep.
Well, I'm going to sit back and enjoy the game a little and not keep the statistics running as I was. The one number we want to watch for is Greg Walby, as we were saying, and that'll be fairly obvious when we see it. So
the only passes aimed his direction so far were not catchable by Greg. He has not had a completion today. Hand gets the ball back at about the 13-14. And that's Jeff Monroe right over the right guard, right behind Colin Johnson.
You won't see a lot of handling of the ball by Hand down here, simply because
that play had nothing there, and he still gained almost 4 yards.
Oh, that mountain man, he can climb anything.
Chris Gavin is the center. Elting and Johnson, the 2 guards. Drew and Kishwala, the tackles. Pitch wide to Anderson, and he runs into a huge pile of manpower there.
Boy, oh boy. Very swarming defense, doing a nice
Guilford
job.
is obviously keying on Anderson, who carries the ball a lot for him.
Of course, again, Guilford would be able, the defensive people would have been able to tell their men, look, the ball's going to go to Hand, it's going to go to Monroe, it's going to go to Anderson. You know, we don't have to think a lot of things unless we tell you. And just look for those plays.
Greg Walby brings the play in. Scott Roberts all the way at quarterback. And Walby split wide left. And it's handed off to the first man through. And Monroe
Should be a first.
should have enough for a first down. Good run, just got enough for a first down, plus a yard.
I didn't notice what time this drive would have started on the clock, but we're well over halfway through the third period.
Yeah, we're down 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Will be all Hand will have to go against this strong wind. This time Supernaut and Walby both go wide to the near side of the field. First down for Hand. And Dan Anderson goes forward for about 6 or 7.
6 or 7 anyway, maybe 8 even as far as that goes. But again, just right up off the right side of the center. Get some good blocks from his friends up front.
That's the side where Kishwala and Johnson and Kingsley are blocking ahead of that. Gained a little over 7 yards on that carry.
Second down, 3 yards to those 7-yard pickup.
And a little bobble in the backfield, and Roberts on the side, and he's got a big corner. Greg Walby is pushing his man out of the way, and a big gainer by Scott Roberts, a keeper left.
What happened on that? The Guilford team had called a blitz, it looked like, you know, or a stuff blitz, if you will, to try to get in behind off the center position. Roberts picked up on that, I believe. That's why he kept it coming off here to the left-hand side. You've got 15, 18 yards off of that.
Yeah, good yardage by Scott Roberts. First down for Hand at about the 46. That's Monroe with a dive to the right side, gains maybe 2.
Fast Eddie Drew trying to get through there. Driving his man backward in the mud. I thought there was somebody trying to get in. Anyway.
We're down to 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And Hand another sustained drive here.
Look, here we go again.
And a pitch wide to Anderson. Anderson is tripped up right near the line of scrimmage.
Jeff Makarowski.
Nice tackle by...
Just short of the 50-yard line.
Nice drive out there.
Third down for Hand, 3rd and 7 coming up.
Guilford defense.
Supernaut brings in a play. Sean Manley is out.
We got third down, and let's get 3rd and 7. The ball's at the 49-yard line of the Tigers.
3rd and long here. Walby's got a clean shirt. He is not... somebody jumped early there. I'm not sure who did it.
That'll be interesting to see. I didn't pick up on it, so I can't help.
I saw the Guilford man jump, but I wasn't sure if Hand drew him off, but it's going to be against Guilford.
Yep, all right.
So it'll be
third down and short now.
We'll take that. That changes the play selection, perhaps.
That takes it down to about the 46, and a makeable situation. The other one was a little long.
Whoever has, we'll let this play transpire.
That's Anderson. Anderson on first down, just enough for the first down.
Okay. Let's see. Whoever's got contact with Joe Tenzar by our communications devices might pick up on the 12 men that Guilford is playing.
What, the bird?
Yeah, we see the bird. See if Joe can kind of cycle in on the bird that's out there in the field.
We got a sandpiper.
Probably try to interfere with the flight of the ball and that sort of thing.
First down for him. Ball is about the 43. And that's the first man, Monroe. Jeff Monroe gains a tough yard.
The mountain man. Like we said earlier, he can climb any mountain with the way he drives. Mount McKinley, Mount Monroe, Mount Enfish, Mount Guilford. You know, you name it, he can get up there. Right through the mud and the snow, and
that's a tough yardage there in the middle.
He makes Grizzly Adams proud.
We're down to a half minute left in the third quarter.
You get the bird on. Here we get a good close-up. He's not got his green jersey on, but... ball's down.
The ball is snapped. That's the first one that Scott has had trouble.
First one.
With a snap from center. Guilford's had that problem a couple times today. The referee is wiping the mud off of the ball after every play. And that runs out the third quarter with that play. Hand continuing to lead 10-0. And that was a fast third quarter. Hand kept the ball on the ground, and the clock just rolled during that third quarter, Frank.
Yeah, you know, it'll be interesting after the fact to hear if all the other games around the area have had trouble with the wind. There's no question that the wind is affected, and the field conditions affected this game significantly. It will be interesting to see that, but you and I were down on the field again at halftime. To a degree, it's a little bit better than it was, having dried out on the surface anyway. Just the real muddy areas that continue to be that way, but a little bit better traction out there. Again, except for this maybe third of the field that's over on the south side.
Frank, while we have a little break in the action, I visited a minute at the halftime with Eric Hamill, who has his name in Hand's record book for 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. And Eric is now at Annapolis. He has had 2 operations on his ankle, and he's going to have a third one, he said.
Well, old Eric is one of the finest young men that I've ever had a chance to meet through this program, and we wish him the very, very best, because that ankle has been troublesome to him since high school.
He made the squad at Navy this year, and that's a pass, complete pass, and that should be the record for Greg Walby on yardage for Hand receivers.
Yeah, and where's the spot? He needed 8. Yes, first down. So that should be a... I'm going to call that the record right there. Unofficially, that should be the record, folks. History in the making. Every year it seems like we get that sort of thing. At least one person able to do it. And
Greg Walby with a good reception there. He's had a lot of them this year.
Very well deserved. Should give him about 659 yards, I think.
And that's Jeff Monroe up the middle, gang tackle. And the Guilford man ripping the ball out, but the whistle had blown.
Picked up a couple.
We got a problem.
Second down and 8 for Hand.
Well, we may have some technical difficulties right now. Perhaps the cord has been pulled or something.
Anderson the tailback, Monroe and the short side.
We may be unplugged on the field,
runs
but we'll
left with Dan
try to
Anderson.
take over from here.
Anderson cuts back, and he's near a first down.
Let's see what we can do. We're having to send some of our technical crew down below. Maybe we can move that monitor. Move the monitor so we can see it.
Third down and 1 for Hand, and the ball is spotted about the 22.
Okay. See if we can catch this for everybody. You want to run the camera and talk, Ken, or do you want me to do it?
I'm versatile.
Get a good long shot here.
And there's a flag.
That came from behind the hand line. So.
Yeah, he threw it right into the seat of the pants of Jeff Monroe. So a 5-yard penalty against Hand, and it'll bring up third and about 7.
There we go.
We have third down. 7 yards. I formation.
Anderson Monroe.
In motion.
Motion Supernaut.
There goes Roberts.
Looking for Supernaut. No, misses. Oh!
He loses his footing as he goes to make a cut.
About a 3-yard gainer though on that, Ken. Third down.
Roberts, the keeper.
25-yard line.
So it's going to be about a 5-yard need for the first down.
4 yards to go.
Fourth and about 4.
That's a shame. Scotty did have enough, I think, to perhaps get that first down if he hadn't slipped in the mud.
We have 4th down, 4 yards to go. The ball is at the 25-yard line.
All right, looking up here now. Got a little bit of spread left here, and Anderson goes knocked down. So the ball will go over and down to Guilford.
The spot put a good hit on Anderson, and they held on down.
So Anderson not quite able to bring through that time. And Hand turns it over and downs to the Guilford squad. And again, we're going to see a lot of aerial action out here with 9 minutes left to play in the game.
25-yard line. Indians with the
Guilford's going to have to try to go to the air in the down here, but you might watch some razzle-dazzle. All right, getting ready again. Hand defense. Dan Brand, Decon, Suppies. Manley ready to go. Man in motion, going left. Bottarelli, he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage by a beautiful play. Colin, Jerry's son out there. Beautiful job. He looked like a grizzly bear going after the man. Just beautiful job slicing through. All right, who else do we have in there? You mentioned Manley, mentioned big doormat, barn doormat, Deacon Silius.
We got 2nd down.
Guilford ready for the snap. Takes it. Gonna come left. Bottarelli's hit hard. Again. Nice job.
And hit his left side there, picked up a yard.
Alting knocks him down. Shoots another bogey out of the sky. Well, it wasn't out of the sky. It was on the ground.
3rd down. And,
Oh, the tank destroyer maybe instead of Ack.
Just about at the 24-yard line.
Nice job. Andy Alting playing inside linebacker spot. Jimmy the younger Kingsley. It's the King James version of the Kingsley family. Oh, quarterback gets away, shoots a little bit over his receiver's head. He was being pressured out there by, again, the Manley one. Suppy's also out there. Zach's playing a very, very good game. He's been out for a couple of games as Zach man. Fast Eddie Drew comes out to take a well-deserved break.
They'll be going back to kick.
Suppy's Decon ready to go again, looking for the play on a sweep, perhaps. 4th down and a yard. Could be anything happening. Certainly not going to be a punt. Well, it is going to be a punt, but it's not going anywhere. Doesn't even make it to half field. So Hand is going to get the ball on the Guilford 48-yard line after a punt into the wind that didn't really go anywhere. I guess what Guilford decided this time, instead of any fancy danciness, with less than a yard to go, but well into their territory, not to take the chance. Right now, your Madison Cable TV broadcast crew is a little technical difficulty on camera 2. So Supernaut coming to this side with a very clean jersey.
We got 1st down and 10. The ball at the 48-yard line of the Indians.
Ryan is out here decoying. Don't expect. Well, no, Roberts is looking for a pass. Takes it, goes long. Oh, it gets tipped right out of Walby's hands. Just out of Walby's hands. Jimmy Kingsley was there as well, but I think it was the defensive man who actually got his hand on the ball. Just knocked it out of Greg's reach. It was right on target, though, other than that. As a result of that, I mean, it was no question that was a touchdown in the making if it had been completed. So good defensive effort, and I think that, no, can't quite tell who that was. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Coming out of the huddle as the Hand band cranks up. Hand wants to get something going here, showing Walby and Supernaut Ryan Ryan's got over 100 yards and catches this year. There goes Anderson with his blockers out in front. He dives forward, almost to the first down. Going to be close. They may have it. May call for a measure on this. It's going to be close anyway. And there you have it. Yes, another 10 yards. Handy dandy. Handy dandy Andy will be looking for that turkey this afternoon. He'll eat a whole bird himself, I think.
We have a first down. Ball up.
All right, ready to go again. Scotty Roberts gets under the center. Takes the snap, goes to the left, hands it off to Jeremy Fiedler on the roof. He goes for about 5 or 6 carries. This is not the last game against Guilford that Jeremy will be playing. Jeremy will be playing the spring in lacrosse against the same green uniform. Not only that, but Jeremy's got another year of varsity eligibility. He's a senior next year. We'll see him back picking up for about 400 yards on the season. And Roberts gets the ball. Short dunk into the Mountain Man Monroe. Gets a first down again and enters inside the 25-yard line of the Indians. Gonna get it going here. As a technical crew works very feverishly to come up with camera 2. Ken Sprague's had to take his way over and is running camera 1. Professor Fust is trying to get the technical side of things taken care of. And approaches the ball. On the right side showing flankers is Superman Supernaut and Walby. Roberts throws, gets air under the ball. It's up high and out of the end zone. That just floated away like a glider, that one did. He put that in the air with the beautiful spirals that went up, and it just kept that nose up configuration all the way down the field. So we're going to have second down and 10 from, give it the 22-yard line of the Indians. And would surely like to get another touchdown here. 6 minutes remaining, fourth period of play on this Turkey Day 1997.
Underneath the center for Madison Roberts underneath the center.
Ready to go. Roberts wide pitch, left.
Right side.
Anderson going hard, still up. He's going to be out of bounds and about the 6-7 yard line perhaps. We'll see what it is in a minute here.
7-yard line.
Should be first down certainly, and goal to go for the Tigers of Madison. And technical crew is getting back the camera. And we'll be picking up back to our normal configuration here. Supernaut comes out after a nice job going downfield. Out comes Monroe. And out comes Anderson. Therefore, we got Manley in at the full position. Power eye set up. Craig Taylor, Jeremy Fiedler with the ball. He's going all the way. Touchdown, Jeremy Fiedler. Nice job out there. Craig Taylor and Sean Manley leading the way. That's not the first time that Jeremy's been in the end zone. He's gotten in there a number of times before. Let's give you a number, Jeremy. 5 touchdowns. That's his number 6 touchdown on the season with 30 points. The points that I like best, those are those Andy Tank Elting with his 2 for the safety. All right, hand for the conversion. Walby's up, and it's good. Making it 17-0. Daniel Hand on top of the Indians with 5 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in this ball game. And I'm getting hungry. I can smell that turkey. I can smell that apple pie. It's a coming on Wisconsin, on Madison Tigers. Nice picture coming across from the cheerleaders down on the side. Give it to Joe Tenzar. He knows where to put that camera. It takes a whole student body to have a winning football team. There's one key part of it right there, ladies and gentlemen. The hand cheerleaders. Nice job by the hand cheerleaders. Young ladies are out here, rain, snow, sleet, and hail. And they look just as good as ever. Hand's going to be kicking off, of course. And back deep for the Indians, of course, are Bartarelli and Ott.
Walby.
Two young men get a lot of time. Both young men very, very good athletes. I think they could have a Division III career after this if they want to stay in the sport. And Walby kicks it long. Gotta go back into the end zone and almost out again. So he's put every kick into the end zone today, so there's been no returns, and Guilford will start their hope for success here on the 20-yard line. Guilford has played a very good game. I'm very impressed the way they played today. Simply because they, with a 4-6 season, it would be very easy to be discouraged. But their coaches have done a good job, and the young men have done a good job coming into this game. Daniel Hand ready on defense. Decon signals out. Everything looks center. Pass, gonna be, has to. Too far down, gonna pulls it down and runs with it. Odd. He gets a couple yards, not much. A little bit of over pursuit by Daniel Hand. You want to have to key on that one man, was maybe a man-to-man type of defense. Hand does not play that way. It's everybody in a zone type setup. Zach Suppes in there. The barn doormat, Deacon Silius, outstanding young man. And addressing the ball will be Ott. He's from the shotgun position. He's got three receivers left. And Suppy's trying to get through to the quarterback. He pulls it down, and it's no good. Dropped on the ground. A little bit of protest from the lawyer, number 8, Loomis. He's got a good career ahead in the legal profession. But to no avail, the referee did believe it hit the ground. Okay, we're getting ready to go again. Okay. Jeff Knowlton goes in, out comes Sean Manley. Jeff gonna now come back into safety with Bubba Latimer. The hammer on the far side. Okay. DeFrancisco's in, far side. Linebacker, play comes to the left side. Gonna be a pass up in the air. It's open for goal. That was that was meant to be a halfback option pass. Went back, set up the throw, being nailed by Suppes. Wasn't fooled by that at all. Ball went in the air, and the wind actually took that backwards, basically. So, with 4th down and about 7 yards, again, Guilford is going to be forced to punt back as we regain the second voice, the primary voice of Madison football.
You done good, Frank. You scored a touchdown.
I scored the touchdown.
Oh, almost blocked. Yeah. That's going to bounce backwards. Who was that in on the kicker there?
Oh, that was Jerry Son.
Colin Johnson. And gets the ball back at about the 36 here. Good field position. We have 4:44 showing on the clock. Hand ahead by three scores, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 17-0. And they will probably keep it on the ground most of the time. That's Dan Anderson up and over the top for a couple of yards. The 17-0 score, Frank. You realize that in 10 games, Hand has not allowed more than 2 scores in any one game.
Yeah.
So this is tough uphill climbing for Guilford, and they don't have the ball.
Oh, they don't have the ball. It is
That's
right.
Hand's main game at this point is just to run out that last 4 minutes and hold the ball.
Yeah, we know the coach
Scott
does not
Roberts
run
and
the-
that's Jeremy Friedler. Friedler gains like 2 or 3.
What the coach is interested in now, he doesn't, he'll take a score if they get it, but he does not run the score up. But what he's after right now is just good fundamental football. Nobody getting injured, but the big thing is good execution. Execute, where you don't develop any bad habits. Because yes, there's another game. The next game being at home on Tuesday night, 6:30.
That's nice to see him put in Jason DeFrancisco. He's a senior. He's on the split wide to the left. He's playing quite a bit today. That's Monroe breaks a tackle. No, that's not Monroe. That's Craig Taylor.
Craig Taylor.
34, not 44.
We'll see him back next year.
Craig Taylor should have another first down and another set of downs and keeps the clock going.
He's a big hombre out there, that Craig Taylor.
He'll be a good player
Only
next
a sophomore.
year. Yeah. 3.5 minutes, and Hand is controlling the ball, controlling the clock here in the fourth quarter. Guilford did get down deep once, but could not put it in. Hand takes a timeout before the plays run. 3:15 left on the clock.
We got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the ball game.
We're getting in a few players who haven't played a lot so far. John Colasar is into the game. He's 56.
I'm sorry that I don't have 54 on here.
That's Craig Taylor carrying.
I tried to work, not 34.
Craig Taylor carries the ball. We got a 54 in there, and I'm not sure who that is, Frank.
No, neither am I, unfortunately.
Not on my roster that I'm looking at.
We certainly hope that...
Chris Gavin out of the game.
So the Friedler on the roof is out.
And number 58, Eric Izzo, is now in at center for Hand. As Hand filters in a number of players who haven't seen action yet today. And that ball's loose on the ground. That was not a clean handoff.
Looks like being signaled for Guilford.
Fumbled, and Guilford recovers with 2.5 minutes left in the game.
Be interesting to see who Hand puts on the field.
Sean Ryan, number 60, is going in.
Sean Ryan's in. Bob Dominowski's in again. He was in earlier. Saw him in there, just didn't call his
38,
number.
Andreas Lingos is in.
And Andreas.
88, Jeff Fitzgerald.
Andreas, although we're seeing him in there, he's a sophomore, and on the defense, he's also an excellent tailback.
71, John Gribb. Colin Johnson hustles off of the field.
Literally have the JV team in there right now.
And
that's
the quarterback
great.
draw up the middle. And tackled by Sean Manley, helped out by Jeff Fitzgerald. .22 in is Chris Milligan.
Chris Milligan will also be playing against these green jerseys in the future, both in lacrosse and in football.
Most of the people in the game right now for Hand are their second unit.
Oh, nice stick.
Oh, near a first down.
Chris Milligan came through on a nice stick that time, and I think Ott's injured, which would be too bad to see the young man get injured.
Jeff Rasigliano into the game. We're just under 2 minutes left. We do have a Guilford man down on that last play.
Yeah, that was the quarterback keeper, and I'm very sorry to see him get injured right now. Played an excellent game. And what happened on that, again, you run your quarterback too much and you're just open for injury. He came through the center on, again, looked like almost a quarterback as opposed to a draw. And he got hit right in the center, around the knees, and was being held. And then another Hand player was able to come in and put him away. But it was hard. He was just kind of like teed up there and bent backwards. We just hope the young man does okay.
We do have a break in the action here while they tend the injured Guilford player.
Very working on his ankle, though. It looks like he's working on his ankle. That could be hopefully not too bad. All right, he's up. Nice job.
Let's talk a minute while we do have this break about the next game, Frank. Assuming that Hand holds on to a 17-0 lead with just under 2 minutes left, they will be in the state championship hunt. And their first game, they play the number 4 team in the state in their class, which will probably be Newtown.
That's what it looks like. Yep.
And Newtown, we don't know much about them except they play a wide open offense and score a lot.
And again, they're big. Ball's down.
The ball is down on the ground and is there quick.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we're going to get this game on before the tournament game, but hopefully an awful lot. 3 times today and hopefully many more. But we want to encourage everybody at home to come out Tuesday night to Strong Field, bundle up for the weather. But by golly, come out and support your Daniel Hand Tigers and their quest for a state championship. Number 1 rated in the state right now. And interesting, before the game gets started, I talked to one of the former football players and lacrosse players, John Lumpy Lumberg. Lumpy right now is Lumpy is on the staff up at Bridgeton Academy in Maine, and he said he was watching television up there, and it was New England Sports Channel, and they were talking about Daniel Hand. They had some film from Daniel Hand game, and saw.
Somebody, I have not seen it myself, but somebody told me that Hand has got a number 4 ranking in all of New England.
Yeah,
somebody's ranking. I think USA Today does that. I'm not sure who else.
I'm not either, and but Lumpy said, as a matter of fact, at that time when he saw it, Hand was number 7 on their list out of 25, and that was against some of the big Boston schools and that sort of thing, Providence schools. But Lumpy's a great guy. Lumpy was an absolutely outstanding goalie in lacrosse here at Daniel Hand. Went on to, again, Bridgeton Academy and starred down at Washington College, one of the premier Division III lacrosse programs. But here he played football, and he was on the wrecking squad. I remember.
And we're counting down the last 10 seconds of this game, and Guilford got a good game going. First down, but that'll be the last play of the game. Hand wins, keeps their record at 10-0, and they got a chance to do something at or 11-0 actually.
And let me tell you, the last tackle of the game was by Jeff Fitzgerald. Absolutely outstanding. His weights and measures as a sophomore show 5'9", 131 pounds, and he brought down the 225-pound Bottarelli. Hands untouched by anybody else. Jeff Fitzgerald, outstanding way to end this game against Guilford.
We'll wrap it up here in the press box. Thanksgiving Day 1997, Hand wins again against Guilford 17-0, and a good defensive struggle in field conditions that were not terribly good. And the next game is next Tuesday, the December 2nd, at Strong Field. Daniel Hand High School, ranked number 1 in the state, will play the number 4 team in their class. So come out and support them.
Come out and support, and look forward to seeing everybody there, and happy Thanksgiving from our entire Madison Cable TV sports crew.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in the championship fight.
Great job, guys. Good luck, Great job. Oh, green in your white. Fellas, the conditions were horrible. And that's before you be able to score 6 touchdowns and get a field goal on a day like today on this track. It's not a bad job. But we know we got to do better. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. We know we got to do better. Okay? And I am very, very, very proud of being in front of you today on Thanksgiving Day. After we started and say you're 11-0. Undefeated football team. What a tremendous accomplishment for Hand High School. For every one of you, you should be very proud and have a wonderful turkey day. Tomorrow, back to work. After you've enjoyed the wonderful turkey today, you're going right to work to get ready for the job. But we still have some unfinished business. Right. And I know we're going to play well, and I know we're going to have a great postseason. Let's get our heads up and let's enjoy this one. Great job. Good job, guys. All out there.
Gary?